up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be talking through my goals for 2022. So, same reaction as last year. How is it already 2022 about to be upon us? I do not understand. I'm freaking out. It's fine. So, today's video is going to be looking back on the goals that I made at the end of last year. I've already done my mid-year check-in, so I talked through a lot of them and reacted then. So I'm just going to talk through them and then continue on with the goals that I am going to set. I will be doing more videos end of this year, beginning of next year, that go into more detail about what I'm looking to accomplish in these goals and also if I completed my goals in 2021. But for this one, it's just setting the goals, telling you about them so you can brace yourself for what's upcoming, I suppose. Same as last year, I had my book and then my channel goals, and I had my definite want to get to's, be nice if I get to them, and then these are just cool things. So I've got the same three categories in my books. Let's dive into my definites. The first is always my Goodreads goal, which I always set to 52 books, and currently I always hit that and then some. So for me, I set it at 52, stretch it to 75, stretch it to 100, and the past few years I've managed to hit 150. The stretch goal that I always start the beginning of the year with is 100 books, but I don't want to put that pressure on me in case I decide that, you know what, reading can actually take a backseat. I do have all these goals. I usually keep myself pretty motivated to keep going and read well beyond 52 books, but just in case, that's what I'm going with, and who knows where this will go. So I'm gonna set it at 52, but mentally I'm thinking let's try hit that 100. Next is my standalone list. So the same as last year, I had the list of books and I wanted to read 10 of them. For this year, I'm going to step it up. I've changed my list up just a fraction and I want to read 12 of them. So my new list is here. I'm trying to make it that I'm not including as many new ones that I'm interested in. I'm really proud of myself that I have managed to keep to reading a lot of the backlist. So at the time of filming, I've read 11 of these, even though my goal was 10, with I think about half being ones from previous lists and then half being the new ones. So next year, I would like to try and hit my backlist a little bit more, just because I know I go to those fun new ones just naturally, but that's also why I have them on there, so then I'm not just going and failing this goal because I'm still reading standalones. It's just, am I reading these ones? Next year I'm gonna up it to 12, and mentally I'm thinking 6 of my backlist, 6 of the new ones to keep it fair, or if I am really pushing myself, 8 of the backlist and 4 of the new ones, which would be ideal. My next goal, woo! We are stepping it up. So I've really decided that I want to get these series in and just get through them. I have started so many, so I need to keep plugging away at them. I think my goal for this year was a 10 series to completion. I'm gonna keep that, but I'm also gonna say 10 series up to date. And I've started a lot of first in series, like the Crescent City series, the Radiant Empire, which is She Who Became the Sun, Amari and the Night Brothers. So I've got a few that I have read the first books for, and I want to keep up to date with them, as well as finishing off the series. I want to be starting and continuing on with the series that I do start because I'm excited for the new releases, but I also need to make a focus to be able to finish off ones that I've started ages ago. In saying that, I have my book that has all the series listed out in it, but I found that it was getting really messy, especially with releases coming out, not keeping up to date with it, yada yada yada. So I've actually made a digital version and it works so much better. It's all color coordinated, so the second I buy a book, I just have to go change the color rather than try and like rub out things, and it doesn't matter if I write it in the wrong color because I can just change it. So I now have a digital copy which I use much more than this. This standalone list I definitely refer to here a lot more, but for my series I'm definitely digitally enjoying that a lot. And I've sorted those by years that I've started, and I went through my Goodreads and just put them in. So anything that was before my Goodreads that I can remember, I know there might be some that I've missed, but there are some on there that I'm still slightly interested in. So I think I have 8 outstanding series that I started before joining Goodreads. So my goal is to finish those. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, or decide that I'm definitely not keeping them and I'm unhauling the books or just writing off the series in general. So that is where my series is. I want 10 complete, 10 up to date, and to make sure that the ones that I have listed before 2000 are either DNF'd, done and dusted, or actually contributing to those completed ones as well. Next up is my big book goal. So last year I was struggling with ways of making it challenging. I ended up using a book jar, and I would pull one out at the end of every TBR video, and if it was one that I wanted to read or wanted to include, then I could include it. But towards the end of the year, I was starting to feel a little bit burnt out with the choices. I made the decision that if I did have 1 or 2 books that were over 500, 600 pages, that I wouldn't have to complete the ones that I've pulled, because I'm already reading the big book, if that makes sense. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep that sort of mentality. I will still draw them, but they might not be the ones that I go to. I'm also trying to think of the best way to incorporate it, so I think I might pull it before I start structuring my TBR, so then I can fit it on a little bit more easily, or I'll know that I'm gonna write it off, but I need something else to replace it. I might see how I go with that, maybe be able to turn that into a game, not sure. But yeah, with saying that, I wanted to read 6. We're gonna up the ante and go for 12, because I read 1 big book a month. I don't think there's been a month that I haven't read at least 1, if not more. Yeah, that's fun. I am definitely enjoying the big book series, and I'm conscious of the ones that I'm purchasing. I think out of all the books that I've bought, which I will get to in a moment, I've only bought 9 or 10 that are over 500 pages at the time of filming. So I don't buy big books anymore, so it's good. I can just chill. And then my last goal that I definitely want to get to is my advent calendar. So you will see a video coming up later in this month, towards the very end, and I'm super excited for this. It's just something that I've asked a few lovely people to contribute to, and I'm super duper excited. But it's definitely going to be a challenge. I base this off Danny's from Currently Chapter and her one that she did for this year, and so I'm very excited, but I have no idea what's in store. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared. So this is a goal that I have, and I don't even know how the goal is shaping up currently, but I hope you look forward to it, because I'm excited for it. On to my if I get to them goals. So that would be my rainbow bookshelf. So it was either to read 2 from every color or 12 individually, and I definitely have done that. The reason I'm like hesitant about it is because I moved and my shelves ended up changing, and I've swapped a lot of the books out. So the list here is not actually the ones that I ended up reading, but I have read the previous ones that I've mentioned. So I will be doing a revamped version of it and talking through my new ones that I've decided, and it's pretty evenly spread. Some of the colors only have 1 or 2 books left that I have now picked from. Others have 4. So I'm curious to see. I haven't actually decided what my end goal is. Just having a count, there's 21 unread books on there. So I'm thinking I might do the 12 again, and then hopefully the next year I will be able to finish it off. Although I would really like to make this a priority, so if I get to it and manage to finish off a lot more, that would be great. But if not, that's also okay. I would just like to make an effort to continue to read some more. And then the next is relating to my hauled books. So this year I wanted to read 2 from every month, or read 24 books collectively, and I have achieved that goal. I did not read 2 from every month. The reason I picked 2 was because I had 2 months with 2 books left in them, and I only managed to read 1 from each of those months. So I still have 2 months with 1 book left in each, and it's, god damn, it's so close. But that's okay, it's fine. So I want to sort of change this up a little bit, just because I'm now looking at the books that I hauled last year, which is intimidating as fuck. Statistically wise, at the time of filming, I have read 100 out of the 171 books that I hauled in 2020. So I've read 26 this year, which is great. That is achieving the goal that I set out for myself. But I've also only read 48 out of the 124 that I've hauled so far this year. Like, we still have Christmas. So technically I've bought less books, but I still have 76 unread books that I've bought this year. So, to save myself mental anguish and still be able to mood read whilst trying to fit in Twister, whilst trying to fit in all these other things that I love doing. To be fair, I absolutely love TBR time and trying to fit everything in together and make it work. I don't know how or why, but apparently I enjoy that. But to save myself going completely round the bend, I've decided that I want to read one from my 2020 haul and one from my 2021 haul every month, or collectively 12 from each by the end of the year. So that's the goal. There are going to be some months where I'll read 3 of my 2021s and none of my 20s, and that's okay. But if I can sort of just conceptualize it as one each a month, then I know to refer to both lists to be able to fulfill my Pluto prompts, and also just in general what I'm wanting to pick up, and see how we go that way. I think this is going to be a lot harder. Every year that I add to this, it gets more and more intimidating because I have a problem. That's fine, it's fine. This is the one that's giving me the most amount of anxiety, in case we can't tell, but we'll get there. I think just the idea of trying to read through my hauled books, plus wanting to read my backlist that I hauled outside of 2020, plus still wanting to read my Kindle audiobooks and library books, it feels a lot. Currently, my TBR is at 398 books, I think, and I'm okay with it being large. It's just when I set goals like this. So we'll see how 2022 goes, and if that doesn't work out for me, that's okay. With saying that, for 2022 and my book hauls, I am going to be implementing a sort of challenge, I suppose. What I'm going to do is assign a monetary value to every book that I read off my shelves. So, like I explained to Ash, say I have any book that I read off my shelf is worth $10. At the beginning of the year, we are going to set a monthly budget for me to reach. If I want to, say I'm feeling comfortable spending $200 on books every month, I can go and buy $200 worth of books at a secondhand store and bring in tenfold more than if I was to buy a full price book. That's fine. But I have to read 20 of my own books to get me to that $200 limit, if that makes sense. I'm also going to be doing library books, and if I unhaul books, that also has monetary value, but it would be like $5 rather than 10. Sorry, we haven't figured out the exact numerical value. I will let you know when I do, but it's just something that Ash and I are still working on, what we feel comfortable with and what we're in a position to be able to do. Now that I'm working full-time again, I actually have money to be able to spend, but we're also trying to save for our house, so we'll see. But that's the goal. I also think it will help me be more conscious of what I'm buying, and if I do want to spend my money, it might be on other bits and pieces. But I will have a video coming out next year explaining my decisions on that. But at the moment, I'm feeling pretty good about it, and I can't wait to implement it. These are cool. I would love to include them in my reading throughout this year, but if I don't get to them, I'm also not going to be too mad about it. The first is the Buzzwordathon, hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. I did it last year and absolutely loved it, so I would really, really love to continue. I've already printed it up and got it in, ready to go. I won't be doing what Crystal did from Bomb Book Reviews and pulling off my shelves and having like my tentatives. I'm just gonna wing it every month because chaos is what I enjoy, apparently. The other is the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge for 2022. So, as I was saying last year, I found that the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge prompts for 2020 weren't fantastic. The 2021s, yes. Also, I mentioned about the biggest book on my TBR being It by Stephen King, and I wasn't going to read it, and then I ended up reading it, so yay! I didn't read Jonathan Strange and Miss Norrell. That's fine. This year, it's a mix. I really love the diversity reps in the regular challenges, but I really don't like the advanced. So I might just stick to the regular because I don't have to do all of them. It's just giving me ideas for my reading. I've jotted down some tentatives, so the advanced ones are just very odd. So I don't know how I'll go with it, but it's there and I've got it, and I would like to incorporate it if I feel so inclined, but I'm not gonna hold myself to it. The other one is the TBR Knockout, which is created by Mel from Completely Melanie. I saw her videos this year on her doing it, and I saw that she posted the announcement for it, and I'm really, really excited. I want to create a little graphic to be able to put in here as well, and each month it is reading 2 things off your physical TBR to knock your TBR down. So I think with the haul and all of those those things, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm really hoping that I can keep my reading up next year and fulfilling all the goals that I would like to, because I love reading so much and I love checking off these goals and doing different things and reading things that I probably wouldn't have picked up if it wasn't for some random ass prompt. So that's what we're going with. The final, these are cool goals, is my scratch map. I have a 100-book bucket list. My goal for 2021 was to read 1. I've read 2. I'm going to keep it simple and just say 1. That's all I have to read. I've got a few options up my sleeve. I'm definitely interested in more of them, but it's just making my way through them. Hopefully some of these will fill prompts for other things, so I'm not having to go out and get them for just that map. Just 1 is the goal. If I end up reading 2, that will be fantastic. I'm so super happy that I read 2 this year, because honestly I didn't think I was going to read any. Then onto my channel goals. So last year I set the channel goal of, by the end of 2021, reaching 750 subs, and today I got accepted into the monetization program for hitting over 1,000 subs and having 4,000 watch hours, and I am absolutely blown away at all the support you guys give me and just the community we've made, the people I get to talk to all the time. I'm so sorry I'm shit at responding to comments. It's one of those things, but I just love every one of you so fucking much, and I genuinely can't believe that this channel is it's here. So the family, we're good. We can keep it at 1,000. I'm good. But yeah, we're not gonna cry, it's all good. But I'm just super thankful for everyone that is hanging around, and I apologize. I know a lot of people subbed for Twister and now changing it to Cluedo might not be the same, but I really hope that you just enjoy this chaotic personality that I love filming and putting towards you guys to be able to chat about books, because that's what I love. So that's what we do. And yeah, so I don't have any numerical value. As I was growing, I was like, oh, it'd be great if we could just reach here and, you know, build up the family. And I'm like, the family's built, bitch, we can stop. So yeah, I'm so thankful for everyone that's here and watches, and I love you all so fucking much. So in saying that, I still want to continue on collaborations and building up more things, making more interactions on my videos. I'm still figuring out how to do that, but it's definitely something that I want to make an effort towards. So I definitely want to be able to involve you guys in things. I love, if you haven't noticed, I love the community posts and being able to do polls on there. So if you have any ideas on what you would like to see or how you would like to be involved, please let me know. I'm more than happy to. I've been thinking about making like a subscriber pick for Cluedo. The options are endless. Let me know if there is anything in particular that you would love to see from me. Which then leads into other collaborations with the community and other booktubers. I really feel like I've grown my wings and branched out and met more people, and this advent calendar I'm super excited for. There's so many other elements that I've done throughout the year that I'm just super happy with and really proud of being able to have discussions with other people. I want to continue doing that. I would love to be involved in more book clubs. I think the hardest thing is just time zones, being Australian. So that's one area that I feel is hard to create because you're working in a completely different time zone from the rest of the world. So we'll see how we go, but that, fingers crossed, we can continue doing some collaborations. I know that the Luna Along is shifting and I might be a little bit more involved, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm very excited to continue on with Danielle and Amy in that community. It is so fantastic. And yeah, next is Not Safe for Workathon. So it's taken a bit of a hiatus this year, and that's totally fine, but I decided that running a readathon 4 times a year, whilst those months seem to fall on the big booktubers like Bookopolython and all of those, felt like I was hitching on the back of those, and that's not what I want. I want to be able to just have it, and there's readathons going all the fucking time, which is amazing. I love that element of the community. But for me, I wanted to sort of just find a spot where it could be its own thing. And Ash said, well, why don't you do it on the 6th month and the 9th the month. So Not Safe for Workathon will be back. It will be in June. This round of Not Safe for Workathon was conceived right at the end of the last one and has taken its time. We're baking it, getting it all nice and ready to go. Hopefully you'll see it a little bit earlier to announce everything, and I'm super excited for this round. I can't wait to let you all know, and then we will have another round 3 months later in September. And then finally, I did mention last year the book club running through Discord. I did end up disbanding the Discord and have moved it to a Facebook group. Literally, I just post a little how you doing thing every Friday, and I'm loving it. So the book that we read runs bi-monthly, and I'm really enjoying that. I've read quite a few amazing books already because of it, and I can't wait to keep going. I'm just having so much fun, and yeah, I hope that it continues just to go about doing its own little thing. I'm not like trying to make it a big thing. Literally, it's just there and we can chat away. I was going to do rooms and discussions, and then timings just didn't work out for me. We had a very stressful period and a little bit of time. Maybe that's something for a goal, would be to have the book club run a little bit more smoothly and actually have set live shows and discussions in the book club. I will leave it linked below if you are interested. It is the Library of the Unread one on Facebook. And so those were the same goals that I mentioned in 2021 and wanting to continue on. So now I have some additional channel goals. The first is the silliest thing, but it's something that bugs me deep in my soul, and I want to gain more skills when it comes to editing and creating thumbnails. That is all I want in life, is to understand how to make awesome edits and how to make an aesthetically pleasing thumbnail, because I have no fucking idea. This is chaos. We're good at the chaos. We're not so good at the design elements of it. So my channel goal is to learn how to make things go. And then my other one is going to be something that I sorely miss. This year I discovered my love of live streaming and being able to, at the time it was the Pomodoro method studying, so I would go for 5 hours with an hour break in the middle and then be studying on either side of those, and it was very intense because I literally had like 5 minutes to talk to everyone in between sprints. But I found an absolute love of reading sprints, of read with me's live, and I love the live aspect of YouTube. I love being able to interact with you guys straight then and there, and so I want to incorporate either weekly or fortnightly streams. I still have not mentioned this to Ash, so that was a conversation we're gonna have when I got home, but it's something that I would like to incorporate, and I will keep you updated on what we decide will work best for us. Obviously, weeklies might not be feasible. We have things going on. I do put out 3 videos a week that I need to edit and upload, so you know, there's time and things, and still wanting to have social life and time to just sit and read for hours on end. So we'll see how it goes. I'm thinking probably more towards the fortnightly, but it's something that I definitely want to incorporate back, because I miss you guys so much and having that conversation then and there. So that is that channel goal. Whew! That's a lot of goals. So I'm so excited for 2022 and just seeing where it goes, how this goes. I can't wait to be involved more in the community. I can't wait to read all those books. That was a tongue twister, and I'm just super excited for what the new year's going to bring and all the fabulous things that are going to come with it, because we are manifesting positivity in this household right now. Let me know in the comments any goals that you have, anything that you would like my goals to reflect, anything and anything at all. Just let me know all the information. I can't wait to hear from you about anything. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video.